I'm going to be doing this video with a big smile on my face. I really am. Manchester United over the last few games, it's not just these last few games, since the start of the preseason, bit by bit, step by step, we have been progressing in Erik Ten Hag's philosophy. And I think we're really seeing something now for Manchester United that I don't think we've seen before. The level of progression, the continuation of the progression, what I want to do in this video. And these are the videos I've enjoyed doing the most on United People's TV over the last 6 or 7 months, is showing this progression, how the hard work is paying off. Because I want to bring it to the surface. I want to make sure we all focus on this. Because for me, success this season isn't defined but whether we win trophies or not. Success for me this season is defined how much closer towards that Premier League title we are. That's the silverware we need. Winning the FA Cup, the Europa League, or the League Cup doesn't change whether this season is a success or not. It's how far down the line we are in Ten Hag style. So make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe, because this is going to be a cracker. And you know full well here on United People's TV, I've been covering this in real detail since the beginning. This was the first training session with Erik Ten Hag. You remember this, him standing in the middle, telling players what to do, lay the ball off. And it was a little bit slow, a little bit cumbersome. And people were like, oh, well, this is going to take ages. And that week I was showing how the first week of training was going with Erik Ten Hag. He wants that intensity. He wants that to be brought into these players, and it was something they were getting used to. It improved as it was going on, but you could see where United needed to work on it. And everyone was like, wow, it's going to take a long old time for this United team to be playing how Ten Hag wants to play. We go towards the preseason and we see that the methods were starting to produce results. And it was a really positive preseason. It really was. And fitness was a big part of it. Dello, remember that interview that he did talking about Ten Hag's demands, double training sessions, a real focus on fitness, because without fitness, football, well, you're just going to be a bang average football team and you won't be able to do what Ten Hag is wanting. And now we've seen this United team that is starting to develop. And the focus is on the word team there. You see Martinez in the background there. You can't see him. There's Anthony. Everybody is part of this new collective unit and collective team. And it's something that is all down to the work of Erik Ten Hag and the work that he has been doing. And this, for me, is everything. This is what you need to be focusing on, right? Because just take a look at these stats. After the first 4 Premier League games, this is where Manchester United were. In terms of possession, we were 12th in the league. 12th best team in the league. Passes ending in the final third, 12th best. Shots, 12th best. Total shots. Shots on target, 12th best. Total shots, 16th. Possession won in the final third. We were 18th. We've gone from 12th in the last 4 Premier League games. Let me just get rid of this, make it a little bit neater. In the last 4 Premier League games now, compared to the first 4 Premier League games, we've gone from 12th overall in possession to 4th. 12th with passes in the final third to 2nd. Shots on target from 12th overall to 2nd. Total shots from 16th overall to 2nd. And this, for me, is the real clincher. From 18th in terms of possession won in the final third of the pitch in those first 4 games to 2nd. That is genuinely an incredible amount of progress from Manchester United, from Erik Ten Hag, and from the team that he is building. And it is all down to this man. Of course it is. This is his vision for Manchester United. And I spoke about it earlier this season. I did it on a live stream. I'm like, how far on the process do you think we are? And we all sort of agreed that we're probably like 20, 25%. We're still in the early stages. There's still so much more to come. I think we've seen a little bit more development over the last few games for sure. I think we're heading toward, I don't know, like let's say like a generous 35%, I'd say we are. In terms of, if 0 is a team that Ten Hag can't identify with at all, to a team that is the perfect Ten Hag team, we're about 35% of the way there. And game by game, we're just improving on that. That game against Sheriff, Erik Ten Hag spoke about it after the game. He said, look, there were a lot of positives in this game. Clean sheet, we didn't concede counter-attacks. We also attacked well. They couldn't get out. The counter-press was good, and we created a lot against a compact team. We should have scored more, but there was a threat. And if you go back now and you look towards, because these stats, as I pulled up there, these stats are all relating to the last 4 Premier League games from Manchester United. And I want to speak about the patterns that we've seen in those games and about one player in particular. You might know who it is, I'm sure you do, but there's one player I want to focus on. Now, if we go back to this Everton game, this was a game where Manchester United, if we had better clinical finishing, it would have been a bit of a I mean, the stats don't really show it there, 12-11, but we had the run of the game, man. Ronaldo scored the winner, cracking pass from Casemiro after he made the mistake for Iwobi's opener. 61% possession, 600 passes, nearly double Everton's. We had the ball. We controlled that game. It should have been easier than that. And we shouldn't have drawn that game against Newcastle. Again, the stats I think particularly show it. 63% possession, nearly double the passes, 15 shots, but only 2 on target. It was a lack of clinical finishing that hurt us in that game. And then we get to the 2 of the most impressive, I think, performances we've had so far this season. And Spurs is certainly the most impressive. How many shots we have? 28 shots, 10 on target. Same amount of passes overall, but it was just... How many more tackles did we have from them? That'd be interesting. That doesn't actually show that. But that game there was where we really played with aggression in the final third. And it's something that we've not seen from this United team for so long. And Chelsea, of course. That was a game where Casemiro came up with the goods right at the end. I think United should have definitely won. Maybe not should have definitely won, but certainly should have scored in that first half where we had total control and total dominance. And for me, just as a team overall, we seem so much more confident. So much more. Compare that team there to what we saw in that first training session to how we're playing in Chelsea. And it is light years difference. And there's somebody I think we have to have a particular focus and conversation on, because I don't particularly believe in coincidence too much. If we look here and we look, what's the difference between those first 4 Premier League games and the last 4 Premier League games? Now, there's a lot of variables and a lot of differences, and I'm not saying it's all down to just him. But this man has been fundamental. Casemiro has been, I would say, the key to how Manchester United have managed to do this in the last 4 Premier League games. Casemiro's finally come into the team, finally starting every game, and we look a different team with him in. Everybody's role seems a little bit more secure, a little bit clearer. Everyone's more confident in what they're doing. And Casemiro, obviously, he had that man of the match performance against Everton. That was where I think it was his first Premier League start. And it was that point everyone's like, boom, Casemiro's in the team, baby. Let's go. And just the influence, I'd say, that Casemiro's had on the team since then, it's just growing and growing and growing. Him there celebrating Bruno's second. I know it's Bruno celebrating in the background. Second against Spurs. And that header and how infectious that was in the celebration against Chelsea. Casemiro has shown in these last 4 appearances for Manchester United that he's not just here for a payday. Casemiro is here to make a difference at Manchester United, to try and take this team forward. And I think Casemiro's presence is a massive, massive reason why this has been possible. I think I'd absolutely stand by that. Winning the ball, that's the big one. I'm gonna pull that back up again, and I'm gonna circle that. Second for possession 1 in the final third. It's extremely, extremely impressive, because that's what Ten Hag wants to get this team towards doing. And that's what we are now. Look, let me pull this up. We're a team. We're a team. And there's still so much more to do. We're still so far away from that final product. And Erik Ten Hag is not going to get caught up in that. He's saying, look, yeah, man, I was happy with the game against Sheriff, but we always want more. We should have scored 3. Sorry, we scored 3. We should have scored at least 5. Should have won 5-0. Ten Hag is setting new standards. The Ronaldo situation was his standard of discipline that he wants to have. And with this football that we're seeing now, with the stats that we're seeing now, this is the level of football that he wants to have, the level of commitment. And that's come through hard work on the training ground, time after time after time, again and again and again, until these players start to go, you know what? We're going to buy into this. I'm buying into this manager. I'm buying into what he's doing. And this is the proof in the pudding. Let's see what goes on against West Ham. Losing against West Ham doesn't change anything here. Everything I've said in this video still stands true. The progress that we're making this season is impressive. Long may it continue. We're still at, I reckon, I've said a generous 35% of the way there. So I still think there's 70% of growth and improvement we can do. So it's going to be exciting to see how it continues to develop. But I just think Ten Hag's coaching philosophy is helping to change Manchester United, as is having the right players and the right influences on the pitch, in the same way that having the right influence and the right structure and the right coach off the pitch is helping instigate those changes. I've got a big smile on my face. I'm liking what I'm seeing from United at the moment. I want more of it. The progress has to happen. But for me, the measure of success this season is not defined by silverware. The measure of success is how far down that process are we and how much closer are we to the Premier League? Because we're not winning the Premier League this year, and that's the ambition of Ten Hag. And that's why I won't lose focus and won't get caught up in a game-to-game basis. I will focus on bigger things, bigger pictures like that. Ten Hag, loving what's going on at the moment. More of it, more progress from everyone. Let's see what goes on in these next 5 games. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But I'm loving what I'm seeing. I really am. It's good to enjoy United again. It really is.